So, okay, so now here we are. We're over on my original cab. This is on its backside now. And you see how this is why is because it is just freaking deteriorated. So anyway, what I'm after right now is down here. This is a gas in that hole. This is where it's a rubber seam that goes around here, and then the gas cap sits out here. And but this is in perfect shape, and it's not rotted whatsoever. In fact, this whole corner is really in good shape. But I just need this section here. And then on the other truck, the other cab, I'll show you if we move up. There's a hole over here. This is in good shape. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm not gonna pull this metal out of here. But we come down here, and this is what I'm getting ready to cut out. All right, so here I go. Okay, now here's my reference marks. There. That's why when I cut this panel shorter and put this back in place, I just follow back my marks, and it's in the exact same place. Okay, so what I've done so far now is I've cut that section out. Okay, pretty mangled on the backside, so it wasn't even worth saving. Okay, so that's gone. And then I place this back on with my marks. And then from the inside, I drew around so I know exactly where the hole is. So now we're going to take all this off and see how well that looks. Okay, after a long period of time, kind of forgot what I wanted to say. I'll edit that out. Okay, so here we go. I got this pretty well cut. It's extremely tight. I think I'll have to coax or coerce it a little bit when I get it in there. We're gonna start that one over. I don't want that one. Okay, so here I go. I got this piece here. This is the original off the other truck. And I got it sitting in here. It is extremely precision tight. It's a couple areas that I'm going to coerce it in once I get it tacked in, but it is just I don't want to take any more off until I got it tacked in because it's just really that close. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And here she is, all tacked in, nice and flush. Almost makes you want to just paint it just like that. Nice and flush. They pull out and no warpage at all. So beautiful job. Okay, and there she is. That's the new patch. She's in there. Got a little low here. I got a seam here behind there, so I can't get to. It's right there. So I think a light coat of plastic right here, and she'll dress out real nice. Okay, so here's a quick patch that's just balancing in there right now. But like I say, finished that one, and now here I'm going to finish this one up here. So just reach in here. So as you see, that's it right there. It's the same piece of metal I had from scrap from the other truck. So she's just going to sit right in there. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to tack it in. Okay, so I forgot to show you this part, but okay, so this is the part I got. I spot welded in, and things were just moving so well, and it was become fun. So I went ahead and welded it. Just remember, it's all, this is ground down and flush. It'll work yet, but then this is just welded here. So that's what it looks like. And there we have it. This would definitely, it's low. I didn't have the right contour for that, but it's flush, but I'm gonna put a thin coat of plastic on top of that because it's got some low spots to it, but you know, it's back to full metal again, both of them. Okay, that's the end of that one. Okay, so after finishing those two projects, here's the next thing I think I'm going to attack tonight. All right, so if you look here, I'm gonna reach out here. This is a window edge. There's a rubber bead that sits on top of this on the front and then the back. And it covers, you see that line there, that's where it was taped off. So this is covered by rubber. It holds the window in. And this section here, this is gone. It's rotten. It's been beat up, and it's just going to continue rusting away. So then we get into good meat right about here. It's my 28 mark, and this is all good. Just kind of nasty, but it's okay. So I'm gonna cut just like a half inch up. I'm gonna leave the curve section. If you can see it, you can see how it's curved here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cut it right here. Leave a 1/4 inch, and then I'm gonna do it's not gonna be a butt weld. I'm gonna do a lap weld. Put the new metal behind it. The rubber beading's gonna cover it. Oops. The rubber beading's gonna cover it, and it'll give me my strength back. And then this seam here from the old metal to the new metal, that will be covered by the rubber. So yeah, see how nasty it is. This is just gonna continue getting worse. Just like that whole front up there that was all rotten. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do now, is just cut that section up. All right, so as I was explaining on the last video here, I ended up cutting this section here, cut like a half inch all the way across, all that rust off of there. And I'm going to splice that in. The rest of it's kind of, it's going to be fine. This is fresh new metal. I got it spot welded in. And kind of lining up, looks a little bit better. So now I'm just gonna finish tacking it in. I was gonna do a lap on the top, but I chose not to. This is just gonna be a butt, but I think it'd be fine. This is new metal, so it'll hold the window pretty well. Alrighty, so that strip here is all brand new metal. I added it from here all the way across to here. Where is it? Right there. So all looks good. Let me give you a lip angle. All right, so that section is done. Now I'm contemplating tearing that dash apart right there. I'll tear that bitch out. All right, I said this was gonna be my next project. Well, I got some bad news, and then I made my bad news some good news. This dashboard, even though it's the same as the one on the other cab, it's not the same. I got this seam right here, and it comes out, and part of the top metal here is also the same bead as what holds the windshield up, and they're spot welded in. So this dashboard's got to stay. So I have to rework the hole that the dumbass cut holes in it, and fix the rest of it. So I'm stuck with this dash. So I just have to make it beautiful. So that's the bad news. I gotta get stuck with that. So to celebrate, I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna come back over here in a minute. If you don't have this nifty little hammer, air hammer, chisel, whatever you want to call it, put this in your arsenal. This is frickin' awesome. Loved it. Anyway, this bracket right here, let me point. This bracket right here is where the it mounts for the bench seat, but I'm not gonna have a bench seat. I'm putting buckets in here. So with that nifty little tool, ta-da, it just pulls shit right off. So that comes out. Put it over here. Now I could put the bucket seats in there and I'm all right, because there was zero pain in the ass to sit on. So then snoop it around. I see I got some heavy decay here. So with my nifty tool, I loosen those screws up and out comes this panel. Now this may appear that it looks like handmade, but I went and compared it on the other cab and it's the same piece, only that one's better shape, but I'm gonna make a new one. So there's that one. What it does is it's an access all the way to the outside. So all your air, your water, and your stuff, that's all going to travel up this hole and come in here. So that's what this does, is it caps it up. And since this is just a straight edge, it just sits right there as flush as they can make it. Then they put wadding between, it's their form of insulation, but it's wadding that went between this metal and the panel right there to block the air. And that was all they had for insulation inside the cabin. So we're gonna change that. So then we wander over here, and I noticed I always wanted to pull this off anyway. Then with my nifty tool, okay, I pull this off. And again, this was kind of decayed. This accesses the gas pedal, or the gas. Well, yeah, this is the gas tube is right here, which goes into the tank, which is going to be behind it on the Dakota. But this, I'm still going to keep this access panel here. I'm just going to make a new one. So that's my project for tonight, is to fabricate these two. The sheet metal is going to be a little bit heavier, but that's them. So that's my new project for the night, since I can't take that out. And I'll get on that another night. Okay, so now we start on our next night over. Now, if you remember, we were talking about replacing this panel here and that panel over there. Where'd it go? Over there. There it is, missing. Okay. So anyway, this is what I did tonight. Here's your old panel. This one over the gas tube. And here's the new one. Still gotta clean that up a little bit more, but that's the new one here. And that was easy. This is basically just a two bends. And just had to kind of contour it to fit over the top of that. And it fits nice and snugly. Over here, if you remember, here's this rotten old panel here. You see it's just a flat piece of tin. Okay, so I went one step further. Since the fact that there is, let's go over here a second. Since this is just one piece of tin, one flat piece that went right up against the body with that wadding, I increased the, I added a little bit by I put a nice 1-inch lip on there. So as it sits, it's going to add strength to the panel, and it'll also give me a nice 1-inch border there that I can put some rubber caulk on there and seal that up really good. Okay, so here's my new panel. We'll walk this over here, and let me show you. I did this like 50 times, but you bend one place and it bends somewhere else. And look at that, snug as a bug in a rug. There's very little airspace between it. Man, that was so pretty. And then this one over here. I want this one here. You think they... So anyway, we lay this over here. And where's my holes? And boom. Booyah. What are you thinking, huh? Man. Can't get better than that. New metal. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I'm going to go watch the news. Thanks for watching. All right, so here's tonight's project. This is the driver's side of the dashboard. And you see this crack right here, the seam between the two joints. All right, if you look sideways here, let me see if I can put a little light on it. You can see this is like almost a 1/2 inch sticking out. So these seams aren't flush. Whereas if they go over here to this seams on the other side, that's flush all the way across. So this is my project for the night, is I have to go in here. Let's take a journey and see if we can get you in there. All right. So we're after here. I gotta do this by feel and look at the lens here. All right, so there you go, that's better. All right, so here's this seam right here. I gotta break all these little spot welds out. I'm pointing with the finger, this one. Break all these little spot welds out right there. and see if I can get the dash, this dash here, to come out a little bit more. So that's where I'm gonna do it. It's gotta be really easy. I can't, if it's gonna get too rough on it and start tearing this part up here, then yeah, I'm gonna quit and find another way of doing it. But I will win. We'll just gotta figure out how. All right, here I go. Okay, this is just a little progression here to show you what we've got going on so far. So this is a down shot. So I got the seam broke loose all the way down. That was okay. Here we go. Get rid of this. Alrighty. So here's your finished product here. This has got a little lip, but this is a factory. I can't touch that. But after here, she flattens right out, just like it was supposed to be. And had 2 cracks right here and right here, so I sealed those up. So those are all done. Here's your back shot. It looks pretty when it's all shined up. But there you go. It's all done. So there's my nightly project. Okay, wrapping it up, going to bed. All right, so this is Sunday afternoon. Get the dog out of the shot. I've been a busy camper today, as you can see. So put another skim coat over the gas thing. I had a small ripple there, so I wanted to get rid of that. And I'm seeing I had a flat spot on this one here, so I'm just seeing if I can add a little bit and get rid of that. That's where that hole was that I patched up. Okay. This is the new lip here. It's all done. I had a couple gouges and stuff, so pinholes, so I just thought I'd fill those with a little plastic. Stripped all this up in here. Eventually, it's just where I'm going is everything's gonna be this way. When I'm removing the paint, I found a dent, and they couldn't do anything because in the inside of it there's a bracing here, so you can't get behind it to push the pedal back out. And then put a skim coat on the bottom there. That's what I've been doing. Ground down all the welds in the floorboard. And here's the front of it. I cut all the wires and everything, so there's nothing on there now. So I'll be working on that. Well, I'll take you over here. This is the Dakota. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Okay, so here's a Dakota without the bed. The bed is on the trailer. So that's the Dakota there. And all that is going to be taken off. That's not a bad looking vehicle inside, other than my stuff. The steering wheel I want to keep and put in the Dodge. The seats, I'm going to keep the seats, put them in. Power windows, I'm going to see if I can keep the power windows. The door trim and stuff, all that's going to go out of the way because it's, as you see, it's like junk. Okay, those boxes are just parts I'm keeping. So anyway, there's nothing much. Here's the stuff that I'm keeping. All that'll I'll just resell it, pay for this here. But yeah, it's just what I've been doing today is just clearing the paint off and taking care of the dents in the back. So chat later. All right, so she's naked. Well, at least the backside is. I'll do that plastic on the bottom tomorrow night. I'm tired. All right, so this is done, totally done. This is done, totally done. I ain't got there yet. That's done, totally done. And she's naked, the whole backside. And the reason I actually went there is because I got little dents and stuff that I need to pick up, get out of here. And then there's little areas here that had surface rust. Here, you probably remember that. that was a big rusty spot. I still got to get a little rotary file in there and get all that rust out of these holes. This is discovered after I opened this up, so I got to get rid of that. That's about it, but at least it proves that the panels are all there, and I'm not putting Bondo over rust or anything like that. So that's, anyway, this is what we look like bare naked. Okay, I'm done for the night. Bye.